guys, so today I am going to be doing a bookshelf tour. I know this is kind of unusual to do a bookshelf tour on only my second video, but ever since I started watching BookTube and ever since I started wanting to make a channel, I have been wanting to do this video because I just thought it would be so much fun to do. And ever since Christmas, when I actually got my bookshelf, I have just been wanting to show it off to anybody who will listen, because I love this bookshelf so much. Because before before I got a job and before I could afford getting all these books, I was using the library all the time. I didn't own any of them, but to have all of them on my shelf, I just love it so much, and I love how it looks, so I just kind of want to show it off. So I'm probably not going to give you a synopsis of each book, but I'm going to give you kind of a brief explanation about what is on my shelf. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and I am just going to start from going from the top to the bottom. This is my bookshelf all together. So this is my first shelf, my top shelf, and it's kind of the hardcovers that don't fit on my bottom shelf that are up here. We're going to start with these four that are over here, and I'm going to explain them. The first book I have is Girls Made of Snow and Glass, and that is a Snow White retelling, and I really like this one because it's like a retelling, but it's not exactly like the fairy tale. Like, it's almost completely different, a whole different kind of version of the world, but it still has that fairy tale Snow White vibe in it. Then I have Stalking Jack the Ripper, and that one is a historical fiction that is about Jack the Ripper, and this woman knows who he is, or is trying to figure out who he is. She doesn't know who he is. So this is a book that I read in 5th grade, Between Shades of Grey, and it's basically a historical fiction, and I don't really know how to explain it because I don't really remember what it's about, but all I remember is a really good book, and I'm going to be rereading it in the next few months. Then there's Everlist, that is a new release, and I read this in February, and it was really good. It's set in a world where time is money. Like, they put the time, a month of their life into money, and they lose a month of their life, but they have money instead. And it's really crazy, and it's about this girl, and she goes to this kingdom, and it's really good. I definitely recommend it. Then I have these four books: Caraval, Wintersong, Shadow Song, Heartless. Caraval, Wintersong, and Heartless are my 3 favorite books of all time at this moment, and I really love those books. Basically, Caraval has a carnival in it, and it's really good. I'm not going to do the in-depth synopsis of it, but I'm sure you've heard of it. And Heartless is kind of Alice in Wonderland, but it's about the Queen of Hearts, and what made her become the Queen of Hearts. And then Wintersong is my actual favorite book, and my channel, The Underground Books, is actually kind of named after this book because there is the underground. And also the quote on my channel, like the picture in the background, is a quote from Wintersong. And then Shadow Song is the second book, but I didn't really like that one much. So this is my second shelf, and these are the books that I have not read yet besides Sky. I recently read that one, but I'm not going to go through them each individually because I have not read them yet and I don't really know much about them, but I'm going to tell you the titles real quick. So first off, there's Tempest and Slaughter, which is, I believe, a fantasy, and my mom got it from the library because she works in the library, so she kind of gets some books for free, and it was before the release date at the time. Then there's Sky, Ever the Hunted, Seraphina, which I bought just for the cover because it has a dragon on the cover. It's really cool. Then The Red Queen, Entwined, which I think is about fairies, Conjured, which I think has a carnival in it, and then Night Circus, which I really want to read soon because I tried reading it before and I really wasn't I was kind of in a reading slump at the time, but I'm really trying to read that one soon. Then I have a rose right there. It's actually a dead rose, and that's why I like it, and that's right there. Then I have kind of photos of me and my family. And then I have an Edgar Allan Poe audio collection, and I have not listened to this yet, but I really do like Edgar Allan Poe's short stories, so I'm going to listen to that probably sometime soon. Then I have this thing that was on my shelf, and this has all of my bookmarks, and I have made a bunch of them. I bought some of them, I found some of them, and they're really cool. So someday I'm going to do a bookmark. I'm going to show you guys all my bookmarks. Yeah. So that is my second shelf. So this is my third shelf, and this is kind of my contemporary, dystopian. It kind of just has everything on it. So over here I have another little thing where I have like flower petals in this thing and another kind of dead rose that I really liked. The first book I have is It Gets Worse by Shane Dawson, because I love Shane Dawson and I'm a huge fan of him. So then I have these 3 books, which all involve school shootings, because in middle school I was really interested in books that had that in it. So, you know, because sometimes you read books just to be sad, and I always got super attached to the characters, and these 3 are really good. Then there is Runaway, which is about a homeless teen. She runs away from her foster care situation. Then there's The Lovely Bones, Dangerous Girls, The Cellar, which is about a girl that was kidnapped and 2 other girls that were also kidnapped by the same man. As you can see, I kind of read darker contemporaries. The Book Thief, Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, The Outsiders, Forbidden. Then I have the Lux series, which involves aliens. It's kind of more of a romance. Kind of really reminds me of Twilight. It's a lot like that. A really good series, and I read the first 2, and I'm going to read the 3rd one soon. Then I have the Madman's Daughter series. This series is about a girl who has a father that is really kind of crazy. He like turns animals into humans, and he's like a mad scientist, and there is this girl who loves her father, and she kind of wants to like find him. And this series has so many turns and twists and ups and downs, and I loved it so much. There's a love triangle in it, and I don't really love triangles, but it's really good. It's really amazing, and I was so shocked by this series. There were so many things that surprised me, so many twisted things. Then I have The Hunger Games, and I really love this series. It's extremely popular, like you all know, but it's really good, and I don't really have to explain it, but yeah, The Hunger Games, amazing. Then I have Stolen, which is another book about a guy that kidnaps this girl, and it's super good, super amazing. One of my favorite books ever. I absolutely loved it. I am obsessed with this book. It is so good. Then I have The Glass Castle, and the first time I read this was in class, and it's really good. It used to be my favorite book. It's so amazing, and it's about this girl who lives in kind of a tough family situation. Not kind of tough, really tough. Her parents are kind of neglectful, and it's a true story. I definitely recommend it. The Secret Life of Bees, Milk and Honey, Life as We Knew It, Go Ask Alice. This is another one of my old favorites. It's about a girl who ends up abusing drugs, and I think it's a true story. It might not be. I couldn't find much on that, but it's so good, and it's diary entries and this girl getting stuck in this world of drugs, and it's so sad, and it's so amazing. I have read it so many times. And I have Butterfly by V.C. Andrews, and this is kind of an old book. I really liked it. I would like to read more by V.C. Andrews. It's really good. So this is my 4th shelf, and this is my shelf where I have a bunch of series on that I really love. This is the Mortal Instruments, and it's extremely popular, but I love this series so much. Basically, it's about shadow hunters that hunt demons and there's so many other kind of creatures like the Downworlders, and I just think that this series characters and the world has developed so much. Like, it develops so amazingly. There's so many good, amazing characters, so many great scenes. It's so funny at some points. Like, I laugh so much during this series, and it's so good. The only one I don't have and I haven't read yet is City of Heavenly Fire. I should read that in the next few months, but that's the only one I haven't gone to. I read all of these, and I'm almost done with this, and I'm going to read the entire Shadowhunter Chronicles eventually, but these are the only ones I read. So this is the Twilight series, and unlike everyone else, I didn't read this in middle school. I read this last year. I still really loved it. There are a lot of problems, a lot of things that probably aren't meant for middle schoolers, but I still liked it. There's a lot of things that are like weird and I don't know, but it's actually good, and I gave most of this book 5 stars. I loved them, but I don't know how well written they were or anything like that. I just know that they were extremely enjoyable. Then there is the Lunar Chronicles, which I loved this series a lot. Like, this series is amazing. It's the first one's about Cinderella, the second one's about Little Red Riding Hood, third one is about Rapunzel, and the fourth one's about Snow White. As I told you earlier, I love retellings, or I said in the last video that I love retellings, and this is kind of like, the first one's kind of like a sci-fi. Actually, the whole thing is a sci-fi, and there's like the moon, and everyone heard of the series, and there's like the moon, and it's like another kind of world or country there, and basically everything is corrupt, and Cinder needs to fix things, basically. And yeah, and she meets all of these fairy tale people on the way, and it's really amazing. The love stories are really good. My favorite one was in Crest, just saying. Anyway, really good series. Then I have A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist of Fury. I only read the first one, and I really loved it. It's kind of a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it's extremely different. It's set in a world of fairies, and this girl is kind of in a different kind of place than where the fairies are, where they don't really have magic there, and then she gets kind of taken by this man, and she's in the world of fairy, and she's trapped there, and it's like love, and there's like the world that's amazing, and there's like a messed up thing going on where somebody very bad is kind of messing up the world. You know, it's one of those, but it's really, really good. I really liked the first one. A lot of people said that they hated it. I don't really understand that. It was really good. So then I have the Iron Bay series. Obviously I really like fae and fairies and so, because most of my books have that in it. But this is kind of, if you ever read The Midsummer's Night Dream, I haven't, but it's kind of based on that world. It's by Shakespeare, but these books are based off of that, I think, play. And the world is really cool. The first one is this girl who's from our world, and then she goes to the Midsummer's Night Dream world, and she kind of, and there's like the Iron Kingdom that symbolizes kind of technology, and they're taking over it, and like the more people go towards technology, the less they'll believe in this kind of stuff, and the more the world fades, and she's trying to save this world that she just kind of met and saw, and then she's best friends with Puck, and then there's the Iron Prince, and she has kind of a romance with him, and it's really good, really amazing series. I love it. Oh, and by the way, there is my last rose that I have with petals in it, and it's a Coca-Cola kind of bottle, and I really love it. I got it from a thrift store, the Coca-Cola bottle. This is my 5th shelf, and this shelf has all of my hardcover books besides the ones on the top shelf. And these are my favorite books. I'm going to talk about each and every one of them and why I love them. I have the Complete Chronicles of Narnia. So since my mom works at the library, she gets books that get messed up there for free. So she got this one a very long time ago when I was very little, and she read the entire Narnia series to me. I love the art so much in this book. I think that it is really, really pretty. The art's really good, and I love the art on the back. It's like a map. I have Favorite Medieval Tales. This one I also got free from the library because it's a little messed up, and I have not read it yet, and I love the art in this. I think it's very, very beautiful, and I love tales of any sort, so I can't wait to read this. I have the complete tales of Winnie the Pooh. I really love Winnie the Pooh. It's part of my childhood, and I read the first book in this, but I have not read the second yet. I recently got this, and I find the art also very beautiful. These are my favorite things in these books, is the art. I have not read The House at Pooh Corner yet, but let me find Eeyore, because Eeyore is my favorite character and drawing in this. Watch me not be able to find him. Yep, there's Eeyore. I find him very, very cute, and he's my favorite character. I have the annotated Anne of Green Gables. I got this when I was really little, and I really love it. I read it the entire series in middle school, and I highly, highly recommend this series. I especially love the picture on the front. It kind of has that old art style that I like. And this one is the annotated version, so there's little things on the side. And they kind of just have old pictures in it. Then I have Black Beauty and King Arthur and his Knights at the Round Table. I find these books extremely beautiful. I really love Black Beauty. I read that when I was really little. And King Arthur and his Knights at the Round Table, never read it, and I don't know if I will because it sounds really boring because of the first page. I definitely got it just because of the cover. I'm just going to show you the art in this real quick. It has the front, first of all. It's so beautiful. It has cartoony and amazing. And then inside, most of the pictures are black and white, but then farther in, then there's some color. I just find this so beautiful. I love it. It is the Junior Library Edition. Then there is the King Arthur and the Knights at the Round Table. This, I love this. Looks medieval. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's so beautiful. And then on the side, same thing. So I think that they're same kind of edition, even though it doesn't say. But this is the black and white, and I bet there's some color in the back. Maybe, maybe not. But I feel like it's the same edition because it has, oh yeah, there's some color. Because it has the numbers on the side. It has to be the same edition, even though it doesn't say so. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. This, I really love Alice in Wonderland. It's amazing. I love Alice in the Looking Glass even better, and I think this has all of Lewis Carroll's stories, and they have the original art in it, as you can see, and I love it. There's gold on the side. The back is like this. I have Epic Greek Myths and Tales. I have always been very interested in Greek myths. This seems probably hard to read, but they have a lot of stories in it, and I would love to learn more about this kind of stuff, but I just feel like it would be very hard to read and get into. Then I have Beauty and the Beast, and it has other classic fairy tales in it. Look how beautiful the cover is. And the inside, oh, I love it so much. This side is silver. Has that. I know it has Rumpelstiltskin. It probably has some of the more grim fairy tales in it. I am very excited. I have not read Beauty and the Beast yet, but I am going to very soon because that is my favorite, I don't know, princess favorite. She's not even a princess. Well, she is kind of, eventually. She becomes a princess, I guess. But she's my favorite character, Disney character. I love her so much. I really do her so much because she loves reading, just like me. And just like you guys, because you're watching this video. Peter Pan. I love Peter Pan so much. I recently read this one, and this has so many cool interactive things in it. Like, let me try to find something like this. You can spin it, and there's a bunch of those things, and they annotated it a little bit. It was a really fun story. It was so, like, childish, and there was just so many, like, nonsense things. Like, it kind of reminded me of Alice in Wonderland, how it was just, like, kind of nonsense in some areas, and they seem like such kids. I just love Peter Pan. It was really good. Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales. This is probably my favorite book I have on my shelf, because at the first of all, I love tales, and I've been annotating it, and I think it is so much fun, and I cannot wait until I have the entire thing annotated. It is so fun to read. I enjoy it so much. I have not read any stories in it in like a few months, but I have to soon, because it is, I just want the whole thing to be annotated. I think that would be really cool and really personalized. Oh, and the cover is really cool. It's like a forest. It's very fitting. I got the really cheap edition, so I wouldn't feel bad marking it all up. Then I have all 7 Harry Potters in hardcovers, and I love this series, and you all know what Harry Potter looks like, but I'm really proud of owning all of them, because it took me over a year to get all of them, because I was buying them from thrift stores for like $10, all the ones besides the first one, which I could not find. But it took me a while to find every single one of these, and only a few of them are a little bit messed up, but they're in pretty good condition. So I'm pretty happy with this series and the collection I have of it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching my bookshelf tour. I hope that was enjoyable to watch, and I hope you really liked it. And I am so happy that I got to show you guys all my books. And please like and subscribe, because I would really appreciate that. Thank you guys for being so nice to me on my first video. I really did not expect anyone to watch it, and even 11 people, that was crazy to me. Thank you guys so much for being so nice to me. The booktube community is so welcoming, and thank you so much. And I hope you guys stick around and let me kind of get comfortable here and show you all my stuff, and I would love talking to you guys about books. So yeah, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I am excited to see you for next time. Bye guys.